you know, this is a challenge for all Christian YouTubers. I know of other small YouTubers and large YouTubers. Small and large have been demonetized very recently, and the entire channel demonetized. And who knows if they even followed the proper process, the procedures here. Let me show you a few things. Silenced and penalized. That's the consequence of speaking truth in this culture. Matt Walsh of the Daily Wire had his channel demonetized, losing them $100,000 worth of ad revenue, which covered the cost of their business, their show. Let's take a look at that. Let's see what happened. Here we have the Daily Wire. Matt Walsh reveals YouTube demonetized him and how he's fighting back. A couple of clips from the article. He said, if I simply respect the preferred pronouns and stop accurately gendering people, then I can likely continue to do my show on the platform. Get it remonetized after a short probationary period and continue making over $100,000 a month on YouTube ads, Walsh said. In other words, all I have to do is keep the money, and the platform is give up my integrity and my soul, he added. And to that I say, hell no, no way. And here's what was posted on Twitter. Daily Wire at Matt Walsh blog on being demonetized on YouTube. If I simply respect the preferred pronouns, then I can likely continue to do my show on the platform. I'd rather you kick me off every platform and banish me to Mars than use someone else's preferred pronouns. Here is a clip of him giving a speech where he explains what happened. So let's go ahead and play that, and I'll react.
Less than a day before I was hacked, we received word from YouTube that I had committed a series of alleged violations of their terms of service and also of their ad partnership guidelines, which will now lead to my demonetization and potentially being banished forever from the platform. Now, YouTube's ploy, what we have to understand about big tech, their ploy is to be intentionally vague about their guidelines. They won't tell you. They'll tell you you violated something, but they won't tell you exactly what it was or how that thing violates the guidelines.
Which is true. Everything is intentionally vague, so vague, and this is all public information, so I'm not violating anything by telling you. But it's so very vague that technically anyone could be demonetized or kicked off the platform for offending anyone. That's how vague it is. It's literally like if any people group is offended, you could be kicked off the platform. If they were to take everything to its logical conclusion, there's not a single person that would be allowed on the platform. That's how it's worded.
Because they want to afford themselves the latitude to demonetize and deplatform you whenever they feel like. And that's really what's going on here. Of course, they just selected me and they said, well, it's your turn and we're going to look for a reason. In fact, they did tell us, though. They cited 3. There were a number of violations they claimed. They'd only tell us about 3 of them. All 3 of them, coincidentally, had to do with Dylan Mulvaney. Yeah. Now, I don't know. Just coincidentally, YouTube decided you're not allowed to say anything about Dylan Mulvaney. YouTube has decided that I'm not allowed to use biologically accurate language when discussing Dylan, or presumably any other trans-identified person. And for what it's worth, it doesn't seem that other channels are being held to this standard right now.
Which, by the way, when looking into some things, I mean, this goes back to 2013, 2014. YouTube has in their internal documents and basically that there are LGBT lobbyists, there are LGBT groups that are actively looking for content that they deem to be hateful content. They're doing that sort of thing all the time, really. The YouTube recommendation system that controls what is recommended to different people, they have those groups overseeing different things. I'll try to find the documentation and maybe I'm not going to do an episode on that on YouTube But if you join me on another platform, I might talk about that and show you those things.
So we were told by sources at YouTube that a decision to target our channel had come from the highest levels of the company. And they're looking for something, a reason to take us out. Now, of course, there is a way out of this jam. You know, the big tech, they're very generous, and they'll give you a potential off-ramp. So if I simply respect the preferred pronouns and I stop accurately gendering people, then I can likely continue to do my show on the platform. I can get it remonetized after, a short probationary period. And I can continue making over $100,000 a month on YouTube ads, which is a huge part of how we produce and pay for the show. In other words, all I have to do, basically what they've told me, is I want to keep the money, that's fine, keep the platform. Just give up your integrity and your soul in its place. And to that I say, hell no. Hell no. No way. I mean, there is nothing to even think about. I would rather be demonetized than use someone's preferred pronouns one time. I'd rather you kick me off of every platform and banish me to Mars than use someone's preferred pronouns.
Well, that's it. And if you don't understand the gravity of these things, obviously that's an awful lot of ad revenue that that is used to cover expenses there. But also, YouTube is the most discoverable platform out there. There's literally nothing that beats it. There are other platforms, and nothing beats YouTube. That, in my opinion, which is why I'm on YouTube. I would, if that wasn't the case, I would have never begun on YouTube, because for years we've seen how bad the censorship is on YouTube. But there's nothing that compares. I do have videos on Rumble, and you can look at that if you want. But all of the alternatives are nothing like YouTube. They've built this thing to where that algorithm does its job, and it finds the people that like your content, and there's literally nothing like it. And so for businesses these days that depend on these platforms, it's a knee crusher. It really destroys everything that they're doing. To have something like this happen, to get kicked off of the platform or to be demonetized, and YouTube is losing an awful lot of ad revenue. It's almost a 50-50 partnership. I think it's 45-55, and I forget who gets to 45 and who gets to 55. But it's so YouTube is losing a lot of money on that as well, which obviously they're happy to do because of their cause there. And this puts a lot of this is a challenge for all Christian YouTubers who everyone knows that they're at risk. I know of other small YouTubers and large YouTubers. Small, I'll say, less than 10,000 subscribers, and large, over 100,000 subscribers. Small and large have been demonetized very recently, and the entire channel demonetized. And who knows if they even followed the proper process, the procedures here. Let me show you a few things that are public information. This is all public information right on Google's help section here. This is kind of the vagueness in which they write things. That's not there. Harmful or dangerous content policies. Who knows exactly where this would have fallen under. Hate speech, probably hate speech. And there's a process that they have to follow, though. Insult a group based on the attributes, maybe it's that, but there's a process that they're supposed to follow. Even when this does happen, you have a community guideline strike, Well, you have strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, you're out. First strike, if we find your content doesn't follow our policies for a second time, you get a strike. So I guess you get a warning. Yeah, I don't think anyone's getting warnings. This strike means you will not be allowed to do the following for 1 week. And that's when you go to YouTube jail. And most Christian content creators have been to YouTube jail. I haven't been on YouTube long enough, and they haven't got me yet. I'll probably get it soon. But then you can't post for a week. And you can't upload for a week, nothing, scheduled live streams. I think you can post on your community post because, no, you're not supposed to. People usually post on their community posts and let you know that they're in YouTube jail, but now I guess you can't even do that. So if I'm just gone for a week, that's why. And second strike. If you get a second strike within the same 90-day period as your first strike, you will not be allowed to post content for 2 weeks. If there are no further issues after the 2-week period, we restore full privileges automatically. Each strike will not expire anyway. So, and then the third strike, like 3 strikes and you're out. Let's see, 3 strikes in the same 90-day period results in your channel being permanently removed from YouTube. So all that work you did to get all those subscribers and all those viewers, gone. And that's a 3-strike system. Sure doesn't seem like they're following these 3-strike systems from, things that I've heard of recently. Well, that's just a quick little episode there, and I want to let you know, though, if you are, let me let you know about my channel here and what I do have in the descriptions that you may or may not have been aware of. First, you can subscribe to my newsletter, and I would appreciate it if you'd subscribe to my newsletter. I am going to be sending out things, I'll be sharing things that I'm not sharing publicly on YouTube, and give some periodic devotionals, and I'm going to try and build that up a little bit. I'm going to start to get that going a little bit more, and so you would just enter in your email information and your name. That's what you would do there. I also have, if you feel led to give a love offering of any sort, you'd like to give a gift for the work that I put in for this ministry, then you can do that. And that can be done at preachingforgodsglory /donate or buymeacoffee /preaching for a one-time gift. And that is certainly appreciated. If you do that, you'll go to the website here. This is the donation portion. Tell you about the ministry, explain that, of course, it's not a nonprofit, and then that'll take you to, click on click on donate. That'll bring up this page here, and you can, of course, give a suggested amount or another amount, and you can go ahead and give a donation that way, safe and secure through PayPal, and then another way is through Buy Me a Coffee. Some people like this because they can write a nice little note, and so that's certainly something that you can do. I'm trying to get some other things in place where I have like a way that I have another platform being built up. Well, I'm still working on YouTube here, and I'll be that's something I've been working on and been researching. So be sure to subscribe to the email list so I'll be able to fill you in more on that. And I don't know, if you missed the episode the other day about Tucker Carlson, be sure to watch it. It's right here somewhere, right there. And other than that, I'll see you in the next video.